Now, Alan Marsh is Shout Radio's chief news correspondent, and he's here with a look at some of the major events happening this year in 2023. Good afternoon, Alan. You're looking very pleased with yourself. Did you have a good Christmas?
Yes, thank you very much, Toby. It's good to be back here on the show, speaking to you directly.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a quiet Christmas, but also a busy one as well, so it was good to get both this year.
Yeah, and imagine an Alan Marsh Christmas would be quite structured, is it?
No, not at all. Other than the plan I have for the day, so I always get up at 9 on Christmas Day. Normally get up about 6:30, but I have a lie-in on Christmas Day. And then I make sure to have a good hearty breakfast, because we don't really do Christmas dinner in the Marsh household, mainly because, if I'm not going to bore you with that, but we do have a Christmas lunch at about 12:30.
Why is this lunch different from a Christmas dinner?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I object to calling it a Christmas dinner when it's not held at dinner time.
Fair enough.
At lunchtime.
Did you have a good New Year as well, by the way? Was that a quiet one?
Yes, yep, very quiet. I don't really do the New Year kind of stuff, I'm afraid. I just go to my bed and wake up and it's New Year.
Yeah. Now, in this new year, there's all sorts of things going on, and the really big thing this year is, of course, the coronation, right?
Oh yes, big event coming up, the coronation. I mean, it's going to be great. There's nothing lovelier than seeing the streets of London filled with people having a great time. The coronation of King Charles III, it's take place on Saturday, the 6th of May this year, and it said it's going to be a pretty slimmed down affair, but we can expect, the famous gold coach, and plenty of pomp and pageantry.
Yeah.
Plus, we get an extra bank holiday on Monday the 8th of May as well. And there'll be plenty of special programming on Shout Radio, I'm sure.
Yeah, we hope to see you there.
Are we there?
We had the World Cup this year, the men's one, and there's going to be another one this year, isn't there?
Well, I mean, last year the men struggled to bring it home back to England, but the Lionesses did manage to step up and do the job for the women's team. So, this year the matches will start in July, I think it's the 20th to be precise, and they'll run for a month in Australia and New Zealand. But the Euro 2022 win at Wembley was epic, and there's every reason to hope the Lionesses can lift that trophy.
If they're strong enough. Now, there's all this talk about whether or not we're going to do another mission to the moon, but there's something about a spaceman that we know is definitely going to happen this year.
Yeah, thank you very much to our very own spaceman, finally breaking our wretched run and coming second to Ukraine. The UK is going to host this wonderful festival of fabulousness, which is Eurovision, in Liverpool, of all places, which should be the capital of the UK. No, I'm kidding on, of course, that's a load of nonsense. And tickets will go on sale for the semi-finals, which take place on the 9th and the 11th of May, and for the grand final that takes place on the 13th. So whether you settle in for a night with Graham Norton on the telly, I don't know why you'd do that, or head to the city and party till dawn, Eurovision 2023 is sure to be du pois all round.
Yeah, I'm going to make a very early prediction here, and I'm willing to be proved wrong, but this year the United Kingdom's entry to Eurovision is going to be the worst we've had in a long time, because we're already hosting it this year and we can't afford to host it next year.
Well, if that's the prediction you want to make, I, on the other hand, think this is going to be the best that we've ever done.
Are you going to be representing us then? That's an idea.
I haven't thought about it, but if you think I would do a good job, then perhaps I might, could do.
Or you could be the next James Bond.
I could be, but I mean, that's another thing. I mean, I'd be up against maybe Idris Elba, Tom Hardy, Henry Cavill. Whatever happened to Tom Hiddleston as well? That's another one that seems to come up. Or maybe 007 could be a woman.
Ooh. But
one thing's for sure, in fact, if you've not seen No Time to Die, you might want to cover your ears for the next 5 seconds. We know that Bond's a goner in his current form, so whoever could take over from Daniel Craig, we'll have to wait and see. And how they'll do it, which is something we'll have to look forward to.
Yeah. And what about the London Marathon? Are you up for doing that?
Look at me, as if I would be up. You're having a laugh.
And as well as all this fun stuff happening this year, there is politics as well. We don't want to bore everyone for too long, but could there be an election this year?
Yeah, I mean, there could be an election this year, but it's not really expected across the political area for there to be a general election. What you would need is Rishi Sunak or a significant chunk of Conservative MPs, along with the opposition parties, to bring about an election early. And, it's unlikely that the Tories would vote for that, given that the opinion polls for them are not doing so well. But, if you think about Russian doll situation, within the big Russian doll, there's lots of little ones. You wouldn't expect to see that many people. You just think it's one solid doll, but there's actually a lot in there. You could find that some of the Conservatives do want to have one, and when they see other people voting to have one, they might do that. I mean, it's a bit pie in the sky. It's pretty much expected that the Conservatives will run the clock down on this one, and it's pretty much January 2025 is the latest date. Winter elections don't tend to be favoured, so it's probably around the summer or autumn of 2024 is the likely timing. So means though that this year is kind of the year before the election, and that's likely to shape how we feel about the next 12 months. I mean, a senior Labour figure said to me that when you look at the year before elections, that's a big part of the decisions the governments make. Not likely to see taxes go up, that kind of thing. It's not very popular to do that right before an election. Probably going to do some policies that they think will win them some votes. This is the year that the election will either be won or lost, and I think you can tell, and if it turns out to be a particular bad year for the Conservatives, then it's likely they'll hold off this election for as long as they can, maybe even in January 2025. If they do particularly well, we might see that early election, so it's something we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, many thanks for talking to us today, Alan. We'll probably see you again at some point in the year, but in the meantime, have a great 2023.
Thank you.